a sec to adjust my camera. Welcome to Fuxing Township. I am on Fuxing Mountain, and this is Fuxing Township. This Fuxing Mountain is the closest easily accessible mountain to Zhongli, which is where I live. And what's this video about? Oh, I'm talking about this. It's weird, you know, whenever I choose a topic, it feels odd to me because most of my vlogs are kind of free flow. I just kind of talk. So even for the first few seconds, when I choose a topic, for the few seconds, it feels very forced and unnatural because it's not free flow. But once I get into it, then I get into it, and that's fine. So the topic is people who don't like dogs and what's up with them. Like, there's two teachers at my work. There are two new foreigners, and they're both kind of new to Taiwan. And one guy is an older guy, and he's really having a hard time with life. He's an older guy. He doesn't have any money to his. He doesn't really have any money. He's already had a couple of jobs teaching, and they haven't worked out. And he has a wife who's Asian, but she doesn't live in Taiwan. She lives in another Asian country, but there's no work in that country. So he kind of left to try to earn some money for them, but it's not turning out. It's not working out for him. So he's here in Taiwan. He's got no vehicle, no friends, no family, and he's not making very much money because my work. There's only really enough hours on my work for two teachers. And I was arguing with my boss for a bit, and he had a really rough start. He wasn't teaching so well at first. So they hired a third person just in case, you know, either I pissed them off enough or his teaching didn't get better. So they hired a third person as a just in case replacement teacher. But when they hired the third person, they had to cut my hours and his hours to give that third person enough hours to even, you know, to live. So now you've got three teachers teaching what should only be enough hours for two. So we're all working like we're all getting like part-time hours, and that's it. I'm not even making enough to live. I'm earning per month. I'm earning hundreds of dollars less than I spend each month. So at the end of each month, I have to I give my wife my paycheck. It disappears, and then I go to the bank and I take a few $100s out, and that's just to buy food and stuff until the next month. And then the same thing happens. I get paid, the check disappears, and then I got to go take more money out. So every month I'm actually losing money. Yeah, but that's not the point. The point is, that yeah, both these new teachers, they have no vehicle, no way to get around. One guy is like, it's his first time ever in Taiwan, and my job is in a small town. So realistically, all they ever do is walk around their small town. They've never been to the mountains, they've never been to the city, they've never been to the malls, they've never been anywhere. They just walk around this shitty small town, and it must really suck for them. You know, and then I've got a car, so I was thinking, you know, a few times I've thought to myself, I should, you know, like, tell them, okay, this Saturday or this Sunday, I'll pick you guys up in the car, and we'll go out, we'll have fun, I'll take you to the mountains, I'll take you to the mall, we'll watch them do this, do that. And then I've never done it. And the reason why is because my school has a lot of dogs, and every time I see either one of those teachers walking into the school or walking out of the school, they ignore the dogs. You know, the dogs are all walking around free, so they're walking by, you know, within like a foot or two of the dogs. They're walking right by them, and they don't look at them, they don't acknowledge them, they just ignore them. They treat them as if they're like grass or something, or like or flowers, you know. They just and I can't even. I don't understand the logic. I know not everybody loves dogs, but I've loved dogs since I was a little kid. Like, since I was, you know, 6 years old, every single time I saw a dog, you know, even if it's someone else walking a dog or something, I would stop and ask if I could pet it, and then pet it and talk to it, you know, and be nice. I've done that since I was as young as I can remember. So for me to see another person, like, especially when the dogs sometimes walk towards them with their tails wagging and look at them, and they don't even look down, they just walk past it as if it's a rock or something. It blows my mind. I've actually got a couple of like I have. Take your pick. It can be past tense or present tense. I had a friend here. He's still here, but we're not so much friends right now. I've got a friend here. And he doesn't. He's a foreigner. And he doesn't know many people, and we met. We hung out a few times, and he calls me up all the time. You want to do something? What are you doing this weekend? What are you doing this weekend? You want to do something? I'm just like, nothing, no. And the reason is because he doesn't like dogs. He doesn't like dogs, and that's not liking dogs makes more sense to me than just ignoring dogs. Like somebody who just walks by a dog and ignores them. I don't understand what's with that. Like, maybe if you don't like dogs for a specific reason, like you were bitten or something, and more than once, or you've got this like hatred towards dogs. Like some people don't like cats, or something. I would understand that more. But yeah, and this guy, he doesn't like dogs, and that's fine. That's his choice. But when he comes to my house, my dogs are super happy. Oh, look, company, and they're all wagging their tails, and they're like so happy to see him, especially because he's a foreigner. My dogs are 10 times more excited when there's a foreigner guest in comparison to an Asian guest, just because I'm a foreigner, and somehow they think that all their foreigners are like my family or something. I don't know what their logic is, but they treat foreigners very affectionately. So yeah, let's get moving. Just check out the view for a sec. So whenever he comes to my house, not only will he like not be affectionate towards the dogs, but like when the dogs like jump up to say hello, he'll just kind of like use his knee to like flick them off. He'll just kind of like kick them off him. Not really kick, but you know what I mean. He'll just like get off my leg and just shake his leg, or kind of flick it and just shake the dog off. And the dog will continue to like wag its tail and look at him, and he'll just like ignore it, so he'll kind of kick it and then ignore it, and it's just like every time I see that, it literally makes me anger, pure anger. I see someone do that, it's just anger, because you don't like dogs, fine, but it's just like fucking common courtesy. It's fucking politeness. In my eyes, it'd be it's the exact same thing as if I were to go to your home and your 6-year-old, 7-year-old child, came up to me and said, "Hello, Uncle Mardeth, give me a hug," or something, and I just kind of pushed them away, like just not kicked, but just shoved them away, and then ignored him, and then just walked by, and then the kid, can you imagine how the kid would be hurt? The kids aren't that stupid. They would understand what just happened. They would feel hurt. And that's exactly, and can you imagine as a parent how you'd feel? Somebody comes to your house and then your kid's happy, oh, hello, blah, blah, blah. And then the person just like pushes them away and ignores them. That parent would probably tell you to get the fuck out of their house, or they'd hit you or something, and that's how it feels to me. So if you are a person that doesn't like dogs, and you go to someone else's house and they have dogs, and the dogs come up and greet you, it doesn't matter that you don't like dogs. Just pet the damn dog, and it's just polite. It's their house, it's their dog. Be polite. It's like if you're a person who hates children, that's fine. A lot of people hate kids. But if you go to someone's house and their kids come up to you and they greet you, you can't just ignore them. You can't just push them away and say, "Get away from me, kid." Should I stop here for a sec? This is a bit of a biker hangout. Doesn't seem to be anyone here. It's too late. Like I said, man, it's too late in the day to be riding. I used my kill switch because I didn't want to put the bike... No, I could use the key. I wanted to leave the bike in gear because it's on an uphill slant, so if it's in gear it's not going to roll away. It's kind of like having an emergency brake on. Anyways, yeah, so I don't know, the moral of the story is, even if you're a person that hates dogs, forget about the dogs. You need to be polite to the owner of the dog. So if you go to someone's house and the dogs come up and greet you, the polite thing to do is just to be nice to the dogs, just for fucking 10 seconds, just to be polite to the owner. You don't care about the dog's feelings, that's fine, but to the owner of the dogs, the respectful thing to do is to treat their children, their dogs, well when you're in their home.